Well, I think we've come to the real biggie, your community service.
Right.
Because I think in Yates County, everybody knows Millie Bloomquist. And I remember all the good you did for the disadvantaged students in school. And since you're retired, you've really been into it with the food for the needy. So how about elaborating on that?
How'd that come along?
Yes.
Well, I was asked to substitute as a public health nurse in 1962 because somebody had left, and I went to work as a public health nurse in 1962 with Althea Glenister. And when she left, I was by myself for a while, and then Seal Schaff came in, and Virginia Finger, and we ran the public health nursing program. We were part of the state health department, and they had a nursing division out of Geneva who did the supervision. In 1962, much of the public health nursing was home care, bedside care in the homes, and we had clinics. In those days, we had a chest clinic because tuberculosis was a big item, and everybody who had a positive skin test for tuberculosis had to have a yearly X-ray, and we had a fairly large caseload of those. We followed newborns, and so we had a maternity and infant care program. We had a crippled children's clinic. The orthopedist came down from Rochester once a month. Children were referred by their family doctors, and they were seen by an orthopedist. We also had availability of pediatric cardiac clinics. So we had clinics every month, and then we had our immunization clinics, which we did through the school, and that was a big part of our program. And from there, the school hired Mr. Killian as a director of Title I.
Right.
And so under Title I, they wanted a nurse to do home visiting and to bring the families and the school closer together in various ways. One of the guidelines was that if there was medical care for children, but it was 50 miles away, and the families had no transportation, then they might as well not have it.
Right.
So one of the jobs I had was rounding up children with health problems and getting them into Rochester to be diagnosed and treated, and we did some of that. And I went to work in June of 1966, and part of that program was to get young children, immature children, into summer kindergarten.
It was sort of like the Head Start.
Head Start, but that was a kindergarten program. I think we had 60 kids that summer, and we really had a wonderful time because in every program that I was in, parents were to participate. Parents were to be brought in as part of the program. So I would go out and bring them in, and they would come and visit in the kindergarten. We got young children, and it was a wonderful program. Rita Knapp and Dick Lent and Jerry Turner and Nona Courier were some of the teachers, and we really had a great time.
Nona came the same year I came to Penn Yan.
Mm-hmm. And that summer pre-kindergarten program was really great. It lasted for 6 weeks, and we were sitting in Rita Knapp's office, and we looked out, and there was one little boy with his hands up like this looking in the windows. And he had walked to school because he thought the bus had forgotten to pick him up. And that was the Monday after the program ended. And he was sure that the bus had not remembered to bring him in there. He was looking in the window.
He wasn't ready to be ended, right?
No, he loved us. It was a very good program. And in December of that year, or shortly before that, the staff of that pre-kindergarten program with Rita Knapp and Bill Joslin and and Dick, and I don't know who, and Dick Brow, and I don't know who else was there. Probably Elmer Willard. Got the state had decided they were going to do the experimental pre-kindergarten program, and they had no rural programs. So we sat around and they said, could we have one, and would we meet the criteria? And we certainly met the criteria as far as income went, and there were other ways. So they set up a program that started in December of 1966, and it was in the Presbyterian Church.
I remember that.
And they had to put crash bars on their doors. They had to modify the building some way in order to get it started. And again, it was Nona Courier and Jerry Turner. And we had, in the morning we had pre-kindergarten, in the afternoon we had a non-graded kindergarten group. And we had some funny times having that.
Certainly gave the children a good start.
Yeah,
I know that.
It did. It was a good program. It was a very good, a good program, and we had a lot of cooperation from the parents, and we had a lot of cooperation from the community, and we had a lot of cooperation from the school board, from the school.
When did you retire from the school then? Working with
1981.
1981, and then you've been working with the Food for the Needy
Since then,
since then?
just about.
You want to tell us what your responsibility is? I know it's huge, doing all the, making sure you have food.
Well, we have